Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. I can't believe it. Believe it or not, this is episode 300. We've made 300 of these silly little videos. Now, did all of them make it on the channel? No, some either had audio issues, things like that. But I'm just going by the sheer volume that we've created so far in some capacity, which I can't believe it, 300. And I really can't think of any better way to celebrate that than going to Tucson Comic Con. One of my favorite events, one of my favorite places to be, and one of my last hurrahs before my upcoming surgery. I can't wait. But you know what, before we dive in there, I just want to take 2 seconds to have a tech video. I just picked up this new vacuum from Fantic. I got it at Costco because, you know, I'm a suburbanite house dad. I love their stuff. I have a air pump from them. I love it. I filled all my tires the other days. I came out and I was down to like 35 pounds of pressure in each tire, and my tires are supposed to be up to 45. I filled them all in less than 10 minutes using that, and I barely used half of the entire battery for the thing. This thing's incredible. I actually got one of those air pumps for the Model Y and the Model 3. So I figured, hey, when I saw this like car vacuum in there, why not give it a try? It's the same brands and really good quality. And I cannot believe it. I totally used it off camera. I didn't think about it. This thing works like a champ, and it has 2 different speeds, has a nice blower in back. It's easy to clean. Like, it was mostly just dust in here. I just popped this out and dumped it out the car. Then I was like, oh, there's still some in there. Just turned it, popped it out, and cleaned it out the filter. This little hand vacuum is probably one of the best ones on the market. It's like the Dyson of car vacuums. I've been really impressed with it so far. I've only seen it at Costco, but I'm sure you can pick it up from their website. Again, that's Fantic. I am not sponsoring anything by them, but God, I would love to be. Their tools and their toys have been absolutely incredible so far. But anyway, like I said, we're heading to Tucson Comic Con today. Follow us. In fact, you know what? Let's head there right now. And we're back at Tucson Comic Con, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm actually about ready to leave. Between the parking situation, because I tried to park on the other side of the convention center and we were all lined up, but the person controlling the traffic was only letting one lane go through and not the other, which was causing a backup. And a police officer came and made everybody move that's been waiting there for like 10, 15 minutes. And the people that are just pulling up were getting to go in. So I went to the other side. And I got here and I looked now, and there's also a clear bag policy, which I know there was one last year, but I thought that was temporary. And I didn't bring a clear bag, and I have a ton of stuff I was bringing in. I'm going to calm down. This has nothing to do with Tucson Comic Con itself. This is the Tucson Convention Center's policy and their parking situation. But I'm going to take a deep breath. We're going to go in there and try and enjoy ourselves because we want to come in and enjoy ourselves. Heading over to the box office because I don't have tickets. I'm supposed to be on the pro list, so we're going to go see if they're waiting for us over there. All right, so it wasn't available at will call. I guess I have to go in through bag check and go to the pro whatever table. Yeah, it's already crazy in here, and I ran to some of my favorite people. If it wasn't for these two, Brian? Tucson Comic Con wouldn't be happening. So I just want to say I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to get in the building. It's already crazy.
You're here, man. Yeah, it's bananas already.
You're telling me. I went to like 3 different parking areas. The police were like, no, go that way. This one's go this way. But I'm here.
Yeah, you're here, man. You're in. Let's go.
Right, time to go have fun, guys. Make sure you check out Coffin Comics while you're here.
That's right. Come on.
And check them out online.
Yeah.
And these people rock. So, Brian, appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Sarah,
you.
I always appreciate you.
Thank you.
Time to go spend money.
Do it.
So the cool part is all these tables and booths and everyone you see here, this is not even the convention floor yet. That happens over here. Actually, before we head down there, let's just check out the floor. So this was the very first convention I ever tabled at. It's my hometown show. I know I was a little angry earlier depending on how much that came in just with the parking and some of the city laws and rules now. But this is my home. I love the show. I love this convention. Let's get down there and start exploring. See what we can do. Oh, I already see a couple friends. First floor, menswear. So these have to take the issues as we get them. So like, for example, I do have a clear bag at home. I just didn't think to bring it because last many conventions I've been at, doesn't require a clear bag. Here, it does. Especially since I plan on doing some shopping and buying some comics. I don't want to be carrying them around all day, so plan better for tomorrow. I should have assumed that, I just didn't. Like I've always said, give me 5 minutes, I'm gonna piss and moan, and then I'll be good, because the brain will kick in, I'll start having some self-actualization. Now let's check out to the convention floor. So if you're not familiar with comic conventions, yes, there's comic book stuff, it's pop culture themed, but really it's an amalgam of toys, people, vendors, comic book creators, companies, stores, policies. Like, for instance, if you watched our last video going up to Oregon, we stopped at a convention in Phoenix. It's this one here, Collector's Choice Comics. Now they're here live and in effect. I want to go say hi to friends first before jumping into all these books. But there's definitely some books here I'm gonna have to look at. I'm excited for that. While I walk around looking for a couple of friends' tables, let's cover some of my ground rules at comic conventions. As an independent creator myself, be it I'm a writer, not a visual artist, I do have a couple rules. I don't record an artist alley unless they give me permission, because that's all their original work and IP, and I'm not gonna put it on blast unless they want it on blast. Rule number 2,
Yes.
I'm here as a fan first, so if I don't get a lot of footage on the floor, that's because I'm mingling, shopping, and doing some other stuff. And 3, I'll try to answer the questions best I can, but the reality is, I've been doing this for so long, I kind of go into autopilot mode at a convention like this. So if I forget to record, my bad. All right, let's find Eric and them first, and then walk around, find everybody else. It's our first celebrity sighting.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What up, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, yourself?
Not only is Michael here, but Tim Diesel. Tim Diesel. I said Diesel the first time. It is all about family. My brother, how you doing? Welcome back home. Aw, te amo. Aw. You guys bringing all your good stuff again, like always. And then I also asked permission, so can I have permission to videotape you guys?
Can, after you videotape it.
All right, good, because it's going on my OF. Tim has been doing this as long as me. Michael has really come into his own the last couple of years, man. I love his art. If you're ever down near Presidio Comics, you're going to see anything and everything he does. He does all their designs and t-shirts and everything. Yeah, and they're both just really good dudes. So if you find yourself in Tucson Comic Con or any of the conventions in Arizona, chances are you're going to run into them. Make sure you say hi and check out their original stuff. It's all incredible. And Tim always has some amazing key books that he's willing to will and deal on. There's already one there that I saw that we might not tell my wife about, so we'll see. Here they are. Hi. We found one of our safe havens. Hey, you guys sell comics here? No? Okay.
She's not super into a bunch of movies.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
We found one of our safe havens.
Yes.
We're both having surgery like within 2 days of each other. What are you going to be when you're done? I'm going to be a Pokemon. No?
I'd be cool with being a Charmander.
You're already kind of halfway there with the ginginess.
Which I had to report. I don't know if you reported, but I reported to my anesthesiologist, and they're going to have to adjust my dosages.
Because you're a ginger?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was something.
I have a higher tolerance for pain meds and anesthesia.
Oh, I have a higher tolerance for pain meds. That's on my record. But the issue with me, anesthesia, bad affects me. Like, I don't wake up when I'm supposed to.
I woke up during dental surgery one time.
I woke up when they were actually putting in my lumbar drain, and I thought I imagined it. So when I was actually like talking to the folks, I was like, did I wake up at all? Like, oh, so you were awake? Yeah. They said a not nice word. They're like, I think he's awake. Oh, and
What was hilarious was when I had my spinal surgery, I was talking to them, and they said count back to 10. I got to 1, I said, see, this isn't working. It doesn't affect me.
And then you were out.
And the next thing I know, I woke up from the surgery.
Well, we're here. It's busy. I'm in a happier mood now.
Good.
Let's do this. It was fun catching up with Eric and Espy, but now it's time to look at comics and mingle and talk to my people. One thing I love about this show is I just spent like the last 20 minutes at this table. We were talking about we're like-minded folks here, so we just spent forever talking about Ninja Turtles and what they meant to us. Always fun. They have some good books there. I got to go back and check. Here's a face you might recognize. If you haven't done so, make sure you get your copy of Serpent Ink. That's Logan. That's Benjamin. They make comics and they make them really well.
Thank you. Buy Serpent Ink.
Where can they go to get it?
ThatLogan.com.
Because chances are they're not going to be at this show by the time I put it out, so they got to go buy it somewhere.
SerpentInk.com or ThatLogan.com.
And I'm going to post a couple things before then. I'll let everyone know where people are at the show. And look, you got Mr. John Proust over there too. I just now noticed. I got to go say hi. But yeah, pick up their books. I love everything these guys do. It's one of the best artists working, one of the best writers out there. I mean, ever since I retired, someone had to take the mantle.
I had to pick it up, and I appreciate it.
Actually, I had that realization. I haven't written anything new in like 5 years.
Time to do it.
We'll see. We'll have some time off here pretty soon, right? All right, guys, check them out. ThatLogan.com. You see, it's already happened. I've been here for like an hour now, and I've rarely recorded anything because I've just been talking to people and running into them, which is awesome. I haven't seen a lot of these people in a while. And also, I haven't heard of getting all my gossip. Okay, if you're into custom shoes, I didn't realize these till right now. Michael, who I was talking about earlier, does these, and they're absolutely incredible. And he's only asking $200 for this one. I'm sure if you look him up, I'll link his stuff down below. Hit him up for a commission. I'm sure it's gonna be more than 200, but good God, look at the detail on this bird. And check this one out. I feel like I'm being watched. I feel like I'm being watched. It's now vlogception.
Yes.
Hopefully you can hear me. I just realized the microphone's turned off. Oh well, that's life.
It happens.
Oh, is that what I look like? I'm done. I'm never doing this again. I want to apologize to all of you for these videos I've made. If you've had to look at this face the whole time. You know you've been doing this for a long time when you run into people from many, many cities away and they look at you and immediately go, hey man, I remember you. You bought this book, and this book. But on the bright side, there is another one of those Samurai Comics sales coming up pretty soon, September 14th. So if you're seeing this video by then, the only downside is I will not be able to go because I'll be recovering from surgery, but doesn't mean you can't go. I picked up my Invincible 1 8.0 from them at the last one they had, and they actually have an Invincible 1 9.6 there right now. They're asking $1,600 for it, which a little out of my price range right now, but that's kind of a good price in that book. Yeah, so Samurai Comics in Phoenix, Arizona. Their next one will be in September 14th for their warehouse show. So it's not one of their actual shops. It's going to be located at their actual warehouse where the average person normally doesn't get to go. So check that out. Day one is in the books. And like I said, today's goal was not a whole lot of shopping or anything else. It was mostly just socialization. Coming and talking to my friends, seeing people I haven't seen in a while, and seeing what is available for this weekend when I do go to actually like buy some comics and whatnot. But the hour-long trip I thought I was going to take just to come here and pick up my badges and say hi turned into 4 hours. So right now I'm going to head home, get some dinner, and you're going to catch back up with us tomorrow when we're back, because this is going to be one video for all 3 days. So next stop, day 2, Tucson Comic Con. It was funny, I just picked up a couple of the program guides on the way out, and I was flipping through it. Sure enough, there on the last page, there's me and Charlie. So we made the program even though we're not actually presenting anything this year. I love Tucson Comic Con. I know I was grouchy earlier, but you know what? This is my hometown show. First convention I ever showed my own books and my own creations at, and they've always taken care of me, which I really appreciate. Now seriously, let's cut till tomorrow for day 2 of Tucson Comic Con. Tucson Comic Con, day 2. I'm here with the family, and so far it's been a challenge. What? Dana might be ready to go down one child. Which one? I agree, Charlie. So rookie mistake, I forgot memory cards for the actual cameras. So we're using the phone today. But luckily, the new DJI mics actually work with the phones. So hopefully it sounds okay. Now, to get in the massive line. Here we go, day 2. Just like Usher, let's hit the floor. Henry, are you excited? What do you want to see? Transformers! Well, I'm excited, day 2, and this, I like to think about the show, what it does lack in certain like comic book elements, like the bigger names, stuff like that, it more than makes up for. This is probably the most family-friendly show I've been to out of all of them. So we're gonna make our way to the floor here, start walking around, and see what happens today. Only real thing on my personal agenda, I brought in 3 books to get signed by 2 different creators. So let's see how that goes. Well, one's a friend, so I know it's not gonna be hard to get that one. But the other, now I have to wait in line for that one. Uh-oh, Henry. Transformers. Aren't those super cool? Everybody smile. Say, Comic-Con. Comic-Con. And we're here. Charlie's biggest thing is he wants to go to the quiet room. But we got a whole convention floor to see, Chuck. Are you ready? I'll take that as a yes. We're 30 seconds in, we've already broken the first rule, no touching. But it is a wall of stuffed animals, so that's, I get it. First stop, the old shop. I feel like there's gonna be a sneak attack. Yay, one less kid. One less kid, high five. Real nice thing about having your friends with the booth at the show is they bribe your kids to behave with toys if they succeed. And Charlie really wants to go to the quiet room. You have to wait, buddy. It's funny, the thing the kids are most excited for is the quiet room. Does anybody know where the panels and gaming rooms are? Oh, never mind. There's a giant sign. Comics. We need more portraits like this up in our house. What do you think? Do we need like an R2-D2 nice Victorian poster? We're starting off over here in Artist Alley. Like I said, I'm not gonna do a lot of recording over here, so not to infringe on their IP. But if you look down, we got all this stuff to fill. And over here is where the main celebrity signings are. So we gotta find the Roy Thomas stuff in a little while. Celebrity sighting. Just found Roy Thomas over there signing stuff. I definitely want to get like 1 or 2 books signed by him. I just didn't see how much the prices were just yet, because I know there's gonna be a cost to a signature, which I'm okay with. We talked about this before. I just don't know what it is. So we have to swing back around when I could take a better look at the sign. Someone had their book sitting on there to get signed. People always ask me, do I dress up? The answer is no. But God bless those who do. That's a big commitment. This is what happens when you don't listen. There you go. This is the way. What do you say?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. A blast from my comics pass is here. I'm going up to meet a buddy of mine that just showed up, so I got a badge for him. And I don't know, actually I don't think he's ever been on the channel yet, so this will be fun. Important person in my life, and very important in my comic book life. Yeah. Well, that's embarrassing, I almost wore the same thing. I told you it was someone important to me. This is one of my oldest and dearest friends, Caleb, and the artist on pretty much 80% of the books I've written in my life. So he's here at the show. We're gonna walk around and be nerds, because I like comics. Look what I ran into this guy here. I know you're not
taking a photo.
Oh, that too. It's a photo of moving images for the channel. Hey, I know you're not as involved as you used to be, but I just want to say thank you, because without you, this wouldn't exist. So, you and Teresita, I appreciate it. As soon as I got here, I got happy, so I appreciate you. Awesome. Right? I know that guy. He's the Prince of Promotion.
King of commotion. It's good to see you, brother.
But I'll be back soon. It's okay. Well, we have mild breakdown number 1, but we talked about it and we're good now, right, Charlie? Now we gotta go find everyone else. The series, yeah.
They started with about number 14 or so.
So unfortunately, we're having more issues now. None of my microphones are connecting, so hopefully you guys can hear this. This is gonna be a lot of work later. But that was Roy Thomas. I got him to sign a couple books. Just like our rules at Disneyland, take breaks. What's nice about Tucson Comic Con, they do have all these vendors set up with all these food trucks outside, just obviously not a lot of shaded space. And the lines are pretty big, because of course we get hungry when it is actually lunchtime. After a hot dog break, I think we're gonna be calling it a day here fairly soon, but we're gonna go hit the floor just for a little while longer. Again, sorry if you can't hear me that well. The microphone decided to stop cooperating, so we'll have to figure that out later. Smile. Woo! Woo! I don't know, we're wooing. You're not wooing. Okay, we wooed. That was our friend Ross Demma. Sorry, I didn't record a whole lot because we were catching up. He hasn't seen Caleb in forever. He saw me yesterday, so we were just chatting. But that was Ross. Check out his stuff. I'll put everybody's stuff down below. You can always tell when someone's collected comics for a long time. First thing we do is open it and smell the inside. But you thought, don't tell my wife. Yeah, there it is. So it's missing the Marvel value stamp, so it definitely affects the value quite a bit. It's probably like a 1.5, but that spine's actually really cool. It's original staples, which is great. In the condition. Ah. Just have to ask myself, how much does marriage really mean to me? Oh man, I don't know. Just in case I don't make it out alive after this weekend, you know what happened. Tim took advantage of me.
I did.
But it's officially in the collection now. Now let's be real, not the highest graded copy, right? It's missing the Marvel value stamp, but for the price we agreed on, the fact it's in my collection now, it's one of those things I can always move up later, right?
Exactly.
But I now have the La Masa and the 181, so I kind of have the 4 corners of Wolverine collecting at this point.
Almost there.
I think that X-Men, giant size X-Men #1 now.
There's that one over there.
Yeah, you didn't allow that to happen, brother. All right, but anytime. This is my guy. Check him out. I'll put his information down below. He draws stuff too.
Thank you. I do. I draw stuff.
Later, brother. So I had to put my book in my bag because I hadn't put it away yet, and every time we stop anywhere, what do you got there? And I feel like a jerk showing him that book. So it's put away. It's put away. It's put away. It's about that time to call it a show. We're making our last few rounds before heading out. We've been willing. We've been dealing. I'll show you more in depth what I got, which is just one book, and what I got signed too. But you know, it's fun having Caleb back in the draw with me.
Hi.
Seeing him do his thing, looking at all the cool stuff, seeing him back in his element. The man's a great artist, and hopefully you'll see you again soon. You have the first few pages.
It's such a chore to be responsible and aware and all things. Oh, hey, we're alive. Look at that. How's it going?
You know, I could use a sandwich.
Me too. So, how's it going? It's good to see you. Can I just do this?
Aww.
Okay.
Well, guys, this is Frank Powers. You may recognize him from the Comic Book Mobile, or his many, many happenings online and throughout Tucson. He likes to support that little place I like to call Tucson.
Tucson.
So he's one of our own here. Like, even though he's a transplant, but we've adopted him.
Right, it's been
Right.
like 15
Yeah,
years.
right.
That's how long it takes. What's a Tucson accent sound like? Somewhere else.
But hey, tell them what you're doing here. We got combo meal. What else you got going on?
Well, it's always a free coloring area at any event that I do, so come on down, color all these cartoons, and guess what? I drew every single one of them. And I drew them for you.
Oh,
That's
gosh.
what I do. He's getting attacked by more love. That's the spirit. Oh my goodness, it's true. So there's free coloring, lots of stickers, spin the wheel with the comic book wheel, lots of fun stickers, and then when you know your BFF, your best friend forever, you get a little bonus.
Aw.
That's right, there it is. That's for
Look
you,
at
buddy.
that.
Oh, yes,
I know
you
the-
didn't get it from me.
I know this guy.
You didn't get it from me.
We were talking about all the great things you've done, including like constant always things. I love the fact you always dive in, and when you dive in with both feet.
Yes.
Never head first, both feet.
That's how you got to do it. Good as gold in these both feet, and that's what I do around here. So I love supporting the community. I love supporting friends, making friends and friendship, and that's what it's all about.
Agreed.
Especially with everything in the comics community, cosplay, and pop culture here in Tucson. It's the Baby Bear's porridge. It's just right.
I love alliteration. You won my heart. I'll put his information down below. Make sure you follow this guy. He's a walking comic book character, and I love him.
Heck yeah.
Later, buddy.
Bye.
Trying to leave, but we have one more friend to say hi to. They're hiding by the Transformers.
So we just ran into some more friends of ours, and now I feel like a schmuck. We just discovered there's a whole other exhibit floor. I had no idea. I feel like an idiot. So now I'm making them walk around more. And there they are. Yeah, I was just saying how we just discovered there's a whole other exhibit floor that we had no idea about, and I feel like an idiot. We're really leaving now. They're gonna go enjoy the show. He and I are gonna go get some sustenance. Day 2 in the books. Day 3, coming soon. Picture. And we're back. Day 3. Minus kids, me and my love. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna walk around, we're gonna meet one of our friends, get him a badge. But today is just gonna be the chill day. So we're gonna see what's left. I already know a lot of my friends have left for the weekend. A couple got sick, a couple are just doing other stuff today. So I'm anxious to see how sparse the crowd is today compared to the last 2 days when it was nuts. Because I feel like everybody's barbecuing and everything today for Labor Day.
It's definitely less crowded.
Yeah, we got parking around the 2nd floor as opposed to the 4th, so
Yeah.
let's go do it. Day 3, Tucson Comic Con. What trouble can we get in today? And we're trying something new here. I actually have a Steadicam thing on my backpack, so I'm going through comics. You should be able to see it. So hopefully this looks okay and works okay and sounds okay. I don't know what it is about this show. I'm forgetting everything. All right, seriously, let's head down to the show now. Loud parking lot. My lovely wife waiting patiently for me. Sorry, no crowds at all today. Day 3 is not nearly as crowded, but I just got it on good authority. They've crushed their attendance record this weekend from previous shows. So I'm super excited for the growth and success for Tucson Comic Con. But today's the day of leisure, walking around, and shopping. Well, within reason. I promise. Today we're starting with Exhibit Hall B because we didn't know this existed until yesterday, so I did a really quick walkthrough. We're going to go in and check out what they have because right now it's the less crowded of the such. And there's one thing we like, it's less crowds. Oh, who do I follow? My friend Brian or my wife? Brian. Nah, I'm kidding, I'll follow the wife. One thing I'm excited about is you looking at everything here because you're the person that likes just to walk around and look at things. Whereas I keep reminding you we're here to actually like physically look at them, not see them from afar and go, that's cool. You fit into the majority of that. A lot of people do that here. That's the reason I bring that up is a lot of people don't realize you're paying for the right to come shop at these things. They're trade shows. So you're not here just to see stuff, you're here to actually like jump in commerce. Which, that reminds me, I gotta check something in my backpack to make sure I brought it for one of my friends here. I'm pretty sure I put it in my bag and I already told him I did. Let's double check to make sure I did. The 80s kid in me right now is so happy. Look at all these games. Like Golden Axe, I lived on that Peter Piper pizza growing up. And of course, one of my favorites, Turtles. But it's Turtles in Time, not the original arcade game. But I still approve. And like I was saying in yesterday's video, this is not necessarily just a comic book show, it's pop culture. I mean, you got stuff for your Crocs, you have original artwork over here, like handcrafted or even 3D printed stuff. It's really everything pop culture. And don't get me wrong, as a comic book fan, I do miss the days of just the old school, like smoky room comic book shows. But at the same time, those still exist. You just gotta know where to look for them, and those are reserved for us, the true like hobbyists. You know, but like me, I go to those shows looking for comic books. I come here to have fun, socialize, and see stuff and recapture things from my youth. Speaking of which, let's go find Brian. I'm pretty sure he's looking at comic books right now. And there's our friend Brian in his element, checking out some comics. Guess what? I am too. As a good friend, I'm leaving him alone to deal with his long boxes while me and my wife go explore the floor and have some fun. Are you ready for Comic-Con goodness without the kids holding us back?
Yes.
Did you see anything that you were interested in all when you were walking around? Because you always come to the shows and just look. I want you to know if you can get something, if you like it.
Oh, I know. There was a t-shirt in one of those booths.
Okay.
It was a Southwestern Design Ringer tee,
Okay.
but I just want to look.
Okay. Okay. And, you know, we're here with no real agenda. You know, I still have some of my comic book budget left. I was just told I have no comic book budget left. That really hurt. Ow, she hit me. This booth has a ton of heavy hitter comics, a lot of which I'm interested in, but one specifically. I don't know why you can see it, but it's right here, Two Guns Kid. A lot of people don't realize that's technically one of the first appearances of Black Panther, because that's where they got the design of the suit from. And that's actually been on my list for quite a while that I'd like to purchase, but it's not a priority. And that's because my wife's here. It's not a priority. It's a priority.
Oh my gosh.
And Dana, with the first purchase of the day, she got herself a little brownie goodness. What's the place called again?
Chez Peachy.
Chez Peachy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the brownie looks grand. That's $5. That's like twice. It is sparkly. It is twice the size of the ones you get at normal like chain restaurant places. What's cool though is $5, small business, and they're getting ready to open a brick and mortar. We'll have to put their stuff down below. But you said you follow them on Instagram. And it's all pink.
Yeah.
So that's all you, hon. Nothing against pink. It just hurts my head. I am really, really happy this con's been doing so well this weekend, especially with like all of my friends who are vendors here making some decent money. But I have to admit, I'm happy that it's slowed down where I can walk through without having to like do the Disneyland side-to-side step. And we've only made it through one row so far. And I'm happy to say, like I said, she bought the first thing. It wasn't me. Yay! I legitimately have no idea where my wife went, but that's probably for the best because there's more comics to look at. Just texted Dana because I thought I lost her, but I found her.
I just got that.
So before I do anything else, I do want to drop some stuff over at one of our friends' tables that I brought for them. Just like our rules when we're at Disneyland, take breaks. Since we have no kids today and we don't have to corral them and it's not crazy hot yet, we're gonna get lunch outside at those food trucks we talked about yesterday. Only downside about these conventions, not a lot of places to sit down and eat. So like right now I look like a overweight Greek Roman emperor being like, feed me. But we got some pork skewers, some Filipino food. It looks really good.
It smells really good too.
It smells really good, so let's dive in. Pork, feed me. Oh, that is really good. That's better than Bengal barbecue in Disney. Same idea, better executed. Just as expensive. Sitting down for our snack, it's time to try some of our Chez Peachy brownie that Dana picked up.
Goodness.
Smells good. I can already smell the chocolate from here.
No.
Hold on.
That's really good.
It is really good. It's really soft and chewy. It's moist. Sorry, disclaimer for people that don't like that word. But, and they're also going to be having a brick and mortar. You just looked it up. It's going to be on 6th Avenue here in Tucson. It's called Chez Peachy. Those desserts are really good. And Danny's really excited because the building is all pink, like the bag. Now the hard part, standing up. I'm tired and I'm old. Ugh. And I know we haven't mentioned it yet, but if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, follow. We do lots of nerdy stuff and lots of fun stuff as a family. More importantly, I do lots of weird everyday errand stuff, but hey, it's all fun. So like and subscribe, watch, and if not, it's really weird you got this far in the video. I was telling my wife, that's the first comic I ever bought, and I've kept the same copy since I was a kid.
It looks like it's been read a few times.
It was quite a bit. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the work you've done. So my copies are definitely well loved and well read, but you know what? This was my original Superman, Death of Superman from when I was a kid. I've held on to all these years. Now it's signed by both Dan Jurgens and Brett Britting. Celebrity sighting. Right now we're making our way back over to Roy Thomas's table as I brought in a few more Avengers books to get signed by him. Nothing great, nothing high grade, but some books that mean something to me. Now we head over there, and he does something I think is really cool. Instead of him charging $5, $10 per signature, which a lot of these guys do, and I don't mind at all, like I've said before on this channel, they worked in an era where they didn't get paid for their work or residuals for things they created, so I have zero problems paying the older guys X amount of dollars per signature. But in particular with him, everything he's collecting is going to the Hero Initiative, which is something that they gather in order to take care of their own who may not have health insurance and things like that. The line is like diminished, so I'm wondering if they've capped it right now. Let's find out. Hi, nice to see you again. The books I forgot to bring yesterday with a clear bag.
He wouldn't give you Thor, but he got Hercules, all right?
That's right.
Stan wouldn't give him.
Yep.
Here you go, sir.
I mean, and I almost forgot. I brought a couple books to trade, including this Captain America 109, low grade copy, but still a $50 to $75 book. Which brings me to my next point. When you're at these conventions, be mindful of the pricing. Don't get overwhelmed because you see something and it's like, oh, I never get to see this. It's never in the wild. So there's a thing called convention pricing, where you mark it up a certain amount of percentage because people always want to negotiate. So the hope is when you negotiate, as the seller, it comes back to the price that you wanted and you think it's the actual value. As the buyer, you know what it's worth. And I still try to negotiate for a little something off because they tend, the profit margins are larger when you buy it here at a convention, usually especially if it's cash. So look at the prices. No. Dana bought something. What'd you buy?
A candle.
You bought a candle?
I bought a candle.
Does it smell good?
Yeah. I was like,
that does smell good.
right?
We literally never light candles.
I know.
Hey, she got something. I'm happy. But I was just talking to the people here about convention pricing. My wife knows something about comics. You've heard me use this phrase before. What do you think it means?
Convention pricing?
Yeah.
Increase prices.
So that way when they're done negotiating, they're hopefully making the money they actually wanted as opposed to what the book's worth. So just keep in mind, if you see a book and you really want it, do a little research first. The chances are it's not going anywhere until you're ready to make the purchase. Because if you want it, someone else probably wants it too. But if you saw it and it's still there, there's a good chance it's going to be there when you're ready to make the purchase. Show's starting to increase in traffic a little bit, picking up. I'll be honest, I'm getting close to being done, but we have some friends here and I still haven't said hi to a couple of my friends at the booth because a couple of them brought stuff that I'm supposed to purchase. But A, one of them, I don't think he remembered to bring it. And two, I don't want to carry stuff around, so I was waiting to the end. One of my favorite local comic places located up in Phoenix. As much as I'd like to, but when I do, this guy right here always takes care of me. Everybody abandons me. No. I'm kidding.
Ross is right there.
I've now been accosted twice, once by my wife and one by my bride. Let's just say my backside is not feeling lonely. Yeah, I got randomly kissed yesterday too. I have been accosted at this con. So Eric and Breanna are here now, and Breanna thinks just like Dana, first stop was Chez Peachy to get her goodies. There's something going on here I'm not aware of. Apparently this is the new thing. And I got a candle. And you got a candle. And I got a candle. Which I'm very proud of that purchase. I think we're reaching the end of our day 3. Like I said, it was gonna be an early day. You can tell by where my hat is positioned. We're gonna make some of our goodbyes, because it's turned to socializing at this point anyway. We're gonna say some of our goodbyes and head out for the day. And when we get home, I'll show you the complete gamut of what I got, which is like a thing, and also what I got signed. But we're gonna say our goodbyes. We'll be back here in a few seconds, just a little while. Just another great show, and I can't wait for next year. But now time to get food before the big reveal of what we've done. Well, that's it. It is a wrap for Tucson Comic Con 2024. It was a great 15th anniversary of the show. I had a ton of fun over the 3 days. Granted, we had kind of a rough start, and that was just me personally. Had nothing to do with the comic book convention itself. I was having a bad day. I was in a bad mood. And it seems like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong in that small amount of time. But you know what? I got over it pretty quick. But let's take a minute and talk about the convention. What I got signed and what I picked up. Before I do that though, I do want to talk about what Dana picked up. If you've been watching, she picked up a candle, and I don't remember the name of the company, but that candle smells phenomenal. So I'll put their information down below because they definitely deserve the press. And she also picked up a brownie from a place called Chez Peachy. And it made me laugh because when our friends Eric and Breanna showed up, she immediately went to the same place to get a brownie and some like a cake, I think, as well. So they're on the right track, and they have an audience because they both follow them on Instagram, and super excited to see them at Tucson Comic Con. So I'll put their information down below too. It's a lot of information I'm putting down below in this time, but hey, let's move on to those comic books. I do want to start off with the books I got signed, and I had everything signed from industry like classics to independent books. And the first one I'll show you is an independent book. If you're familiar with the TV show Reservation Dogs, there's a character on there. It's played by John Proudstar. And John Proudstar is actually from here in Tucson and someone that I've followed for many years in the independent comic world, including Tribal Force. You may have seen some books he's put out recently, like Tribal Force kind of like revamped, but this is one of the OG Tribal Force books, and I finally remembered to bring it to a show and to get him to sign it. So thank you, John, for signing that. And the funny thing about this here is he signed it while we were waiting to get signatures from someone else. And let me show you those. These books kind of span over 2 days of the convention because originally I just brought 2, and I'm going to show them in the order that I took them to, well, I'll just say Roy Thomas. So the first book I got signed by Roy Thomas, and this is while I was waiting in line. I ran to John Proudstar and had him sign that. Here, it's going to be Avengers number 87. It's the retelling of the origin of T'Challa. I've always loved this cover. Granted, mine's a lower grade copy. It's got a crease down the middle, but I think a pressing would take that out. But as we've talked before, I'm not one to press my books. But I got one signed by Roy Thomas. Then I also got my Infinity Inc. number 24. If memory serves, this is one of the earliest versions of Todd McFarlane working for it. And he never really worked for DC, but he worked for DC on this book with Roy Thomas. And it's one of the few books I've actually had personalized. You see right here, Todd wrote to Tommy on it when I had him sign it, and Roy signed it down here, and I have Todd McFarlane up here. And you can tell this is like an older book I got signed by him a long time ago, because his signatures now are usually pretty bold, and definitely you see those signatures. This one was kind of reserved. The next 3 books were also signed by Roy Thomas, but I got them signed today, because I don't know why it didn't occur to me that he wrote these books, even though I knew he did. I was like, hey, oh, I got 3 books I wouldn't mind getting him to sign. So like, for instance, Avengers number 38. This is one of the first, well, this was the first Avengers cover with Hercules on it. And the reason that Roy Thomas included Hercules in the story is he wanted to do Thor for Marvel, and Stan Lee wouldn't give him the assignment. So he's like, fine, if I can't do Thor, I'll do Hercules. His name is Yellow Jacket. As many of you know, I'm a big Ant-Man fan, and Yellow Jacket is his, big enemy. This was his first appearance, and got him to sign that one. This one's a clean copy. This is probably like a 7.5. Like, this red is really good. There's a couple breaks at the top, but the spine is phenomenal. And lastly, again, really low grade comic. It's Avengers number 52, the first appearance of the Grim Reaper. And actually, this is the issue where T'Challa joins the Avengers. It's missing a corner, but otherwise it's a really nice bright yellow cover, and Roy Thomas signed it right here. These next 2 books are actually books that mean a lot to me personally. And I'm going to go with the one that's still means a lot to me, but not as personal as the other one. Death of Superman. I have that still in the poly bag, and I had Brett Breeding sign it. And he has a really nice, beautiful signature. He signed with like a white chalk pen, so it just really stands out against that black background. The next book I had him sign was the same one, just open. But the cool thing about this one, I already had it signed by Dan Jurgens. And as you can see, as I hold it up closer, you can tell it's a really like well-read, beaten-up copy. And the reason is, this is my copy from when I was a kid when it first came out. I picked it up at Dimension X Comics here in Tucson, Arizona. I used to be located at Oracle and Limberlost here. And funnily enough, after I got this signed, I found out, because I already knew my friend Eric had worked there at one point, but he introduced me to someone else who had worked there too, and he was working there when this book came out. So I was like, there's a chance he might have sold it to me however many years ago. But that's my personal copy, one of the first comics I ever bought and owned. And now I have it signed by both the main creators on it. Lots of fun. And the last book I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to show you 2 other books first. The first book I'm going to show you is Hulk 180. If you remember, we picked it up at WonderCon in Anaheim. And Hulk 182. This is the first appearance of Wolverine in cameo, and 3rd appearance of Wolverine also in cameo. This book I have purchased now. This is my 3rd time owning it, but I've always sold it before because I was always in a situation when I was younger and in college where I'd rather have the money than that book, which now that I'm older and the collector I am, breaks my heart. And at WonderCon, if you remember, I picked up a La Masa book, which was technically the first appearance of Wolverine, but it was in Spanish and it came out in 1979. However many years, I think 4 years after the fact, 5 years after the fact. I always wanted to own a 181, an actual one, but it was never a book that was high up on my goal list and grail list because it was just so expensive and I couldn't justify that much for a book. But my friend Tim, who shows up to these conventions, who is a willer and dealer, he likes to buy a lot of these big key books, usually in lower grade, mid grade, and he buys them and he trades them to grade, move up for the same book. Like he might have a 5.0, he'll trade it for a 7.0 plus cash, something along those lines. Well, he had a 181 at his table and he was trying to sell it with his 180, which he's fully aware, we talked about it. Definitely a little bit more beat up than mine, but still an amazing book. Well, I didn't need that book. I was like, hey, what's the friends and family price for this one? We talked and he told me that book doesn't have the Marvel value stamp and it's definitely a red copy, but for this price, and he was right, the price we agreed on, I couldn't say no. And I didn't say no. So I finally own an Incredible Hulk 181. It's funny, I grew up loving Wolverine, and I always was more of a Gambit fan. But as I've gotten older, I just appreciated the character and how it evolved and what it became so much that this book kept moving higher and higher and higher up on my personal grail list. And because of Tim, I now own it. Now let's be fair, if I were to send it in to get graded, it's probably, let's say a 2.5 to a 3 would be my guess. But because of that Marvel value stamp being cut out, It is definitely a qualified label if I go through CGC. But does that matter to me in the real run, the long run? No, we've talked about it here on the show before. I collect these books because I love them, and just having it in my collection means the world to me. And something else that means the world to me is Tucson Comic Con. So I want to take time here to say thank you to Sarah for having us out. She's the reason I ended up going to the show. Thank you to Brian and his wife. Like, thank you to the entire Tucson Comic Con staff. Like, everyone was absolutely amazing. It's my favorite show of the year because it's my hometown show. And the second Comic Con I ever attended, because yes, San Diego was my first one. I got the love for it there. And Tucson Comic Con was right around the corner at the time. And it's my hometown show. It's where I got to meet Eric Schock and the guys from Evil Robo, and I developed a great friendship with them now. It means the world to me, and my comic book collecting life has revolved around Tucson Comic Con. So thank you guys for the work you do. Congratulations on the 15 years, and congratulations on this year probably being the biggest year ever. Just from the attendance and what I saw, there's no way it's not the biggest year they've ever had. If you haven't done so, make sure you follow them on their social medias, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever, because they're always announcing cool stuff. They always have great guests. They're ever expanding. I hope to see bigger things from them next year. And I hope you guys continue to watch this show. This is episode 300, and I couldn't think of a better way to do episode 300 of Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel than at Tucson Comic Con. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for taking a ride with us, whether it's comic books, Teslas, technology, Disneyland, family vacations, me just yapping at the camera. I appreciate every one of you watching. And if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't done so, please share and see someone else who wants to watch our show. Appreciate you. Have a great day. By the time you're seeing this, I'll probably have just had my surgery. So let's see what happens from here. Bye-bye, everybody.